Hello, this is my review of the Beasts of the Mesozoic 1/18th scale Velociraptor mongoliensis and Protoceratops andrewsi. They are part of a line of figures that used to be 1/6th scale, but were then shrunk down to 1/18th scale to fit the Ceratopsian and Tyrannosaur line better. Because previously the Raptor series had been 1/6th scale, as well as some of the smaller ceratopsids that were from the Ceratopsian line, like Protoceratops and Psittacosaurus. Now I'm going to review the Velociraptor first because it has the most accessories. Now see, yeah, the painting and sculpting is really good for a figure of its size. And I really like the articulation as well. Very well articulated for such a small figure, such a frail looking figure as well. It's so thin and tiny, like an actual velociraptor. So I'll go over accessories. It comes with a stand to help it stand, because its feet are so small. It comes with this adapter here. Super small piece. You get two of them just in case you lose one. And it plugs into the base right here. So that you could slot the feet under it, have it stand, or alternatively, you could have this stand right here. This stand comes with another adapter that is a tiny claw. Plugs in right there, and you can have the claw grasp onto the midsection, so you can have the Velociraptor in a mid-air pose, like it's jumping or something. The Velociraptor also comes with these two leg pieces. They're also super small. And you can change the legs so that it can have more poses, because the legs have no ankle articulation whatsoever because they're so small. If they added a ball joint or a hinge, it just wouldn't look right. So to make up for the lack of ankle articulation, they made separate leg pieces that you plug into the stump here to make it look like its ankle is bent. And this can allow for different poses. Like, see, before it was like in a standing neutral pose. Now it looks like it's kicking at something. I quite like it. Or you can make it look like it's walking or running, I quite like this figure. It's so accurate, and the size really fits well with the rest of the line. It's got so much articulation for its size. It's got an opening mouth. and 2 ball joints in the neck and head, I think, which can allow it to look up and down, as well as a shoulder joint right here allows it to move up and down and forward and back and out a bit. It's also got an elbow here and a wrist that can only go up and down because that's how dinosaur wrists are. It's got a joint at the midsection which allows it to turn and to go up and down. It's got hips that can move forward and back. And it's got knees. And finally, it's got a ball joint at the base of the tail, but it has no bendy wire because they couldn't fit one in there. It's too small for that. Now on to the Protoceratops figure. This figure is also really nice. I love the colors. Really reminds me of like those old clay pots that like are in archaeology sites, like terracotta and all that. It's got a really deserty vibe, and it makes the blue eyes just pop that much more. This tablet camera really does not do the detail and painting justice here. In terms of accessories, it has a lot less than the Velociraptor because it doesn't need them. See, it has a little hole right here that you can plug onto the base, so you don't need any stand adapters or anything. But it also comes with alternate legs because, of course, it doesn't have any ankle articulation. It's too small for that. It comes with these 2 bent legs right here. They plug into here. And that plugs onto there. That looks really nice. This also has really great articulation for its size. It has a joint at the base of the head, like that. It can move side to side. It's got an articulating jaw. It's got front legs that move forward and back, and of course an elbow joint, but no wrist joints. It's got a midsection joint that allows it to turn and to arc up and crunch down. The back legs can move forward and back, and the knees can bend and extend. And it has a joint at the base of the tail which can make it move all around. For such a small figure, they somehow made it articulate just like almost as much as the bigger figures, as the larger 1/18th scale figures. Speaking of, we're going to do a size comparison. So Here's the 1/18th scale Protoceratops and Velociraptor next to the 1/18th scale Pachyrhinosaurus, Fan's Choice Pachyrhinosaurus. That really puts into perspective how small they are, and this is meant to reflect how big they were in real life because they're all 1/18th scale, so this is a good size comparison. This is how big a Protoceratops would be next to a Pachyrhinosaurus if you ever had the two next to each other. I mean, of course, it's not actual size, it's just 1/18th the scale, but it's a good size comparison. And here's also the 1/18th scale figure. Here's next to the 1/18th scale Fan's Choice Styracosaurus. Again, a huge difference in size. So great. And because I love having figures that match each other in scale, I also got this figure. I'm not doing a review of this guy. I just got him because I wanted a human size comparison to all these dinosaurs. So if you ever want to know, this is how big a Protoceratops, a Velociraptor, a Styracosaurus, and a Pachyrhinosaurus would be next to a person. Like, just think of them as full size, and it's insane how big these animals were. Even the Protoceratops is really big next to a person. And the Velociraptor, too. I mean, they're comparatively really small, but still. But anyways, aside from all this, if I had to give these two figures a ranking, and I will, I am going to give these two figures a ranking. I'd say that the 1/18th scale Velociraptor is like an 8 or 9 out of 10, I'd say. It's kind of fragile. You could easily break some of the accessories if you were too rough with it. But that's why these figures are marketed towards adult collectors, because children would definitely break this apart. But yeah, it's like a 8 or 9 out of 10. Now, I think the price is a bit too much. I think they're like $18, which is pretty pricey, but for that you get a super articulated, tiny, well-detailed figure with a ton of accessories, relatively a lot of accessories, that being the two bent legs, the stand arm, the claw, and the heel base, along with the two stand adapters. As for the Protoceratops, I also give it like an 8 out of 10, an 8 or 9 out of 10. It's got less accessories to keep track of, that's nice. It's only got these two legs and that base. And you don't even need the base. It can stand on its own. So that's a plus. It's also got a lot of articulation for its size. Practically almost the same amount of articulation that these larger figures have. The only thing missing would be an ankle joint. That's about it. So, anyways, that's my review of the 1/18th scale beasts of the Mesozoic, Velociraptor and Protoceratops. Bye.